All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to part 6 of our 10-part explainer series, built specifically for security engineers and penetration testers who are actively testing production GenAI deployments. We're continuing our deep dive into the Red Team 80 GenAI Attack Prompts playbook, and today we're tearing into Chapter 6. This chapter focuses entirely on a massive, glaring vulnerability class in modern AI architectures: excessive agency. Look, if you're an AI red teamer tasked with evaluating agentic chains and tool calling pipelines, the concepts we're breaking down today are absolutely fundamental to mapping your attack surface and actually executing successful exploits.
So keep this golden rule of thumb in mind for all your assessments. Every single tool granted beyond minimum necessity is an attack surface. In the rush to make generative AI models more capable and autonomous, developers are rapidly wiring them up to external APIs, internal file systems, you name it. But as security researchers, we know that capabilities literally equal vulnerabilities if they aren't strictly bounded. This idea is the foundational lens through which you should view every agentic framework you're tasked with penetrating. You aren't just hacking a language model anymore, you're mapping and exploiting the tools that the model has been given permission to use.
So what does this actually mean in practice? The crucial point here is that we have to strictly apply the traditional cybersecurity principle of least privilege to these new GenAI agent architectures. Excessive agency is exactly what happens when developers fail to do that. We're taking a concept that penetration testers have used for decades, least privilege, and mapping it directly onto large language models. When an LLM is deployed, it's frequently given a whole suite of tools via its system prompt or back-end framework. If that model is granted permissions, APIs, or database connections that are not strictly necessary for its immediate, narrowly defined job, well, that's excessive agency. And that becomes your primary attack vector. Your job as a red teamer is to find where that excess exists and prove exactly how it can be abused.
Let's look at a couple of everyday examples that brilliantly illustrate this architectural flaw. Take a standard customer service bot. Its only job is to answer questions based on a knowledge base, right? So it should absolutely never have write access to your user database, because if it does, you could potentially prompt inject it to modify or delete records. Now contrast that with a document summarizer. Its whole purpose is to ingest text and output a shorter version of that text. It should definitely not have email sending capabilities. If it does, a malicious document could instruct the summarizer to silently email its contents straight to an external attacker. These are textbook examples of how failing to scope tools creates immediate, high-severity exploit paths.
To test these exact boundaries, Chapter 6 of the playbook gives us exactly 6 specific prompts. And these aren't just random guesses. They are highly curated to systematically force the model into utilizing its tools in ways the operators never intended.
So what are we actually doing with these 6 prompts? They're engineered to target 2 very distinct attack vectors during an engagement: unauthorized email sending and unauthorized file writing. By focusing on these highly measurable actions, red teamers can generate undeniable proof of active security breaches, rather than just pointing out theoretical risks.
Let's break down the first one. This exploit specifically relies on bypassing human-in-the-loop confirmation to weaponize communication tools. If a model has a send email function, the secure way to deploy that requires a human to click approve before the payload actually leaves the server. But with excessive agency, the model is often granted the autonomy to just execute the tool independently. As a red teamer, your injection prompts here are designed to convince the model that it already has authorization, or maybe that the situation is an emergency requiring immediate automated action. If you can trigger that model to send an email silently without the user ever seeing a confirmation dialog, you've successfully turned the LLM into a fully automated phishing or data exfiltration engine.
Moving on to the second testing vector, this one focuses entirely on manipulating the model's granted agency to create or overwrite data in restricted system directories. We're talking about raw file system access here. If the LLM has a tool that allows it to, say, save user preferences or export a report, you want to test if you can use prompt injection to alter the destination path of that file write operation. Can you force the model to write to a sensitive path? Could you overwrite a critical configuration file? By manipulating the parameter the model passes to its file writing tool, a successful prompt proves that the model's excessive permissions can lead directly to full system compromise.
Anchoring back to the official playbook from Virtualization Options LLC, there's a vital mindset shift for security engineers here. We need to treat the LLM purely as the delivery mechanism for the exploit. You aren't really hacking the neural network's weights or biases. You are exploiting the architecture built around the model. The LLM is simply the parser. It takes your malicious prompt, interprets it, and executes the payload against the vulnerable tool.
The real vulnerability lies in the fact that the actual system permissions were configured poorly by human engineers, granting the model way more agency than it actually needed.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a critical question to chew on. As you map out your attack surface, are you absolutely certain your GenAI agents aren't holding the keys to the kingdom? Every internal API, every database connection, every single script execution environment connected to an LLM is a potential lateral movement vector. If you take the principles and the 6 prompts from Chapter 6 of this playbook and apply them, you are very likely going to uncover permissions that should have never been granted. You need to think critically about the agency you give your models, because you better believe attackers certainly will.